Hello everybody, Flik here and welcome to Let's Chat, my weekly vlog series posted every Monday at lunchtime if you're in the UK. And this is the first of the month, so without further ado we're going to jump straight into the shout-ups are not a thing, not yet anyway, not until I get my regime. Anyway, we're going to start with the Patron shoutouts. These are people who supported me for the month of April on my Patreon website, where you can get yourself a bunch of rewards for helping fund this content creation thing that I'm struggling to do for a living. So here we are, the shoutouts for people who supported for the month of April. Let's start with Aaron Hawkins, Coulson McDonald, Taya Blake, Fraser Macbeth, Christopher Geeb, Silver, Good Rory, Matsumune, Ipo, O.C. Callio, Michael Millward, Colin McKesson, Johan, and although he originally signed up to say don't give me any rewards, apparently CR does actually want me to give him shoutouts, so CR, otherwise known as Gary, thank you very much. You help let me keep on doing this, and I have already used the funding I got in April to help with my recording setup. You may be thinking I sound a little bit weird. That is because I'm testing out a new microphone. Now the one I had before, the Blue Yeti, it's amazing. The problem is it's too amazing. It's a very professional studio based top tier microphone in my opinion. You really do need either a silent setup to get the most out of a Blue Yeti, or a soundproofed or you know, a setup ideal for sound vibrations, etc. In other words, you can't have a noisy ass PC like me. So although it's an amazing mic, don't get me wrong, I love the Blue Yeti, it is fantastic. I decided to test out another very popular brand of tabletop mic, and specifically it is the Blue Nessie. So that is what I'm testing as I record this. Now I am just using the raw voice mode. It does also have a studio mode. I don't like the way that sounds in my sound setup. It makes it sound a little bit stuffy rather than giving a bit of warmth to the cadence I'm using. So I'm testing it out. I've tested it out under extreme fan conditions on my PC, hoping it would drown them out. It's still audible. I don't think it's as audible, so there's a slightly bit of difference. It also means I don't need to do quite as much editing on most recorded stuff after I finish doing it on the PC. Keep in mind the PC playthrough of Dark Souls 2 I'm doing right now, that's a bit different because I'm recording the sound live, and because I'm with other people I can't edit it in post. Usually when I do PC stuff the fan isn't as prominent as it is in the PC playthrough of Dark Souls 2 because I edit it. It also makes me sound a bit weirder on very heavily edited PC audio than it does when, say, I do like Monster Hunter or anything on a console really, because my PC isn't doing particularly much while I'm doing that, so therefore I don't need to do as much sound editing afterwards, so you're hearing me far more like I was in the same room as you. Hopefully this mic will mean that I don't need to do as much audio management. If nothing else, it's also much smaller than the Blue Yeti, it weighs less, it's got a much sleeker design, it's got a built-in pop filter, it's got a built-in shock mount, so it's basically got a bunch of stuff just in one complete package. It's got a very easy to turn volume thing if you plug in some headphones, although I won't, I'll use my Plantronics rigs as a separate headset because I like them. And it has a touch sensitive mute button, which is very weird. It makes the light on the bottom of it flash. Still need to get used to that. I do actually kind of prefer a push button mute, not just like a hover your finger over, but it's weird. I'm not sold on it yet 100%, I am looking for feedback, so do let me know how you think I sound compared to, say, last week's Let's Chat. If it's better or worse. Indifferent. I could also, on the fly, change to the studio mode so I can show you what I mean. While I do that, you'll hear the click, hang on. So now, I'm speaking using the so-called voice mode, where it automatically applies some editing to my voice. It'll probably make it sound maybe a bit radio DJ-ish, like I'm in a studio. I think that's the kind of effect they're trying to go for, but because I'm in quite a big room, I don't think the sound reverberates as a way that would make it sound better than, say... Now, I'm back to the raw version, which is basically like you're in the room with me. And I guess the time will tell once I record some more PC Dark Souls using this mic. In fact, you'll probably be hearing this after I've already done that, because you'll be hearing this on Monday the 5th. And on the 3rd, the Saturday, during the Steam group night, we'll be recording more of the playthrough with CR while he streams it to let Twitch chat, or the Steam group chat in the Twitch chat so that I can have messages passed on to me. Ideally I need a method where I can still see the Twitch chat so I can respond, because CR is also playing so he can't see every single thing that gets said, and I think if we both have eyes on it, it would be a lot easier. Someone said something when we were doing last week's recording with the Steam chat about being interested in a second monitor. Were you actually offering something? If you were, and you were that person, CR didn't catch the name, let me know. Contact me on Steam if you're already on my friends list, or during the Steam night. Bring it up. Don't do it like in the Twitch chat, because as I say, during the current setup, I can't see the Twitch chat. I have to rely on CR passing stuff on. Although, for the Saturday you'll already have seen by the time you hear this, I might have tried to throw something together using my laptop. Ideally, I need a way to see the Twitch chat without streaming the video, because streaming the video would make additional lag, and lag is already fairly common in Dark Souls 2 PC online gameplay, even if you have good connections. I mean, I don't have a great connection, but Good Rory and CR, the people I'm playing with, they both do, and it's fairly obvious that lag is always just kind of lingering in the background. But we'll see what happens. Let's see, so what did I have to discuss today? Well, I did ask on Twitter, as per usual, and as per usual, let me just double check TweetDeck here. Someone favorited it that I was about to record the Let's Chat. Oh wait, no, I did get a question. I got 3. I got like, why the hell is, let me check my phone for a second. God damn it, phone. I've had like 5 questions and I didn't get one pop-up on my phone because of reasons. Okay, I will go through them, but actually what I'm going to do first, this is going to be a whole question and answer vlog this week. I know it's not technically a vlog, but it's close. So if you're not into that kind of thing, I apologise, but yeah, I've got a bunch of questions here, and what I was going to do, had I been asked nothing, I went back to last week's Let's Chat and the week before that, because people had actually been putting questions in that and just making comments, and I thought, well, that's the smart way to do it. I won't just ask on Twitter, leave a comment on the posted Let's Chat, like the most recent one before I film a new one, and I'll go back and answer. That seems like a really easy way, because as I was saying last time, I film these very early in the day in the UK, so, and most of my audience is American, therefore they see the message way too late. So, going back to Let's Chat number 21, which was when I was talking about flawed villains and whatnot, there was a lot of feedback on the flawed villains argument. People suggesting some villains from One Piece as being a bit silly. Apparently Full Metal Alchemist had good villains. I only watched the bad anime of Full Metal Alchemist. I didn't watch the recent one that actually followed the manga, so I can't really comment on that. Shingeki no Kyojin. Is that the Japanese name for Attack on Titan? Sounds familiar to me. Either way, that's another one someone suggested last time, or that time. CR suggested Kefka as a good villain. If I remember rightly, Kefka's only motivation was he actually did want to watch the world burn, and that's what he wanted to do, and that's what he basically achieved. So yeah, I agree. He's technically not a flawed villain, because his only ambition is, I want to blow up the world. He's basically Jester Thomas. That's probably the inspiration for Jester Thomas, is Kefka. It wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, I agree. Kefka is an example of a good villain, even though he's technically exactly what's wrong with what I was describing. But because that was his goal, I mean, he's basically insane, that makes it okay. Scattered Shot says, Maya is adorable. Seeing my girlfriend's dog's toys makes me aware of my fingers. Ha! Yeah, Maya sometimes accidentally gets a bit too overzealous when she's grabbing toys off you, I will say that. And someone else said, DRC090997, said Maya seems like she's really violent. Oh, by the way, you're all spelling it Maya. You're all spelling it M-A-Y-A. She's actually spelled M-Y-A. I made the same mistake once when I was trying to name her, because I was playing Phoenix Wright at the time we got her, and I said, let's call her Maya, thinking it was M-I-A, as in Phoenix Wright's dead, cheer person. And he also has the assistant Maya. And I thought it was either one of those two spellings, but nope, we went for M-Y-A. We just did. But still, so he said that she seems really violent. I answered him on it, but it's not that she's violent. She's violent towards cuddly toys technically, but there's one cuddly toy that she won't wreck. It's a really, really tiny little teddy bear, and it's because when she was fixed, she went through a false pregnancy, which is something that can happen when female dogs are fixed. So she treated this tiny little teddy bear like it was a real puppy, like she took it to bed with her, she cared for it, etc. She was confused. So she will not wreck that. She just won't. She'll play with it. She likes getting it thrown, but that's the one toy she will not attack. She won't rip the arms off. She won't like tear it to bits fighting with my sister's dog. So it says sweet in a way. She's not as violent as she seems in the videos that I post in these Let's Chats every so often. That's just, you know, she's rambunctious. I think someone else asked, hang on, I think someone wanted to know what breed she was. Fraser River. Oh, actually, that's someone from Patreon, isn't it? That's, yeah, it is. Yeah. You asked something. Flik, I've been watching your videos for a while now, and to be honest, I can't remember why I clicked on the first video of yours I ever watched, but I know why I stayed. I stayed because when I made a comment on one of your videos, you replied to it. I had never had that happen before. It may be because of your channel's smaller size, but it's still nice to know I was noticed and not just another view. I really hope you can continue to do this for a living. By the way, what breed of dog is Mia? You spelt it wrong too. Looks like a black lab. Well, thank you for the comment, first of all. I do try and reply to every single comment I get, and keep in mind, if you watch bigger YouTubers than me, it's not like when a channel gets to say 100,000 views, they instantly become dicks. It's not that. It's just that they get so many comments. They can't. They're too busy on the business side, and then on the practical side, they're producing so much content for that kind of audience, they can't reply to every comment. I like to think that I will try very hard as my channel hopefully grows, you know, touch wood, etc., that I will try and keep up the same level of comment answering as I do now, because if I'm not doing anything in particular, say I've just got like a video uploading, a video rendering, I can't do any recording during that time, I might as well answer comments, and that's usually when I do it. It's at odd times of the day, but it still interacts with your audience, and I like answering comments and having chats with people in the comment system, provided it's not, you know, trolling and whatnot. And you were correct, half right anyway. Maya is half black lab and half collie. It's the collie blood in her that makes her so hyper and makes her jump at the window and whatnot. So yes, I answered you at the time actually saying that you were half right, so I forgot, apologies. But yes, she's got collie blood in her and she's got black lab blood in her, so she's apparently a good hunter and also has way too much energy, which is, I wouldn't say she's a good hunter actually. She can often like not see a biscuit that's landed right next to her, for instance, but still. So that was on Let's Chat number 21. Let's look at Let's Chat number 22. DRC090997 commented again. Maya is the cutest dog out there, as well as Gassy Mexican's dog Malcolm. Gassy Mexican, I know of him. I know he's a YouTuber. I haven't actually seen his dog though, but thank you. And I guess you got over thinking that Maya looked a bit vicious. So APGM4053 asked a question on last week's. Random idea for next week, your favourite competitive game or your favourite type of competitive game? Huh. That's interesting. In general, I don't like competitive gaming because it brings out the worst in me and everyone, in my opinion. I far prefer co-op because you're teaming together with your friends, you're having a laugh, having a good time, and you feel great when you achieve things as a working team. That just appeals to me so much more than, you know, I don't mean to sound insulting if you're part of this crowd, but the Call of Duty crowd. I don't want to be part of that crowd. It's just not for me. But if I had to pick my favourite competitive game ever, I suppose it probably would be a card game. I don't mind playing those competitively because there's no way not to. Actually, if I'm allowed to count tabletop games, I would say then Warhammer 40k is probably my favourite competitive game. But in terms of gaming type, like video gaming type, yeah, probably strategic card games. They're my favourite competitive type, like Magic, like Hearthstone, I suppose. There's obviously flaws with both of them. Even like on the PSP, I used to love the Yu-Gi-Oh games. Never seen the anime, just I like the card game. I like it. So yeah, I'd say as far as competitive stuff goes, I mean, I do like competitive FPSs. I like Titanfall, although I still haven't had time to go back to that. Since it launched, I've played it twice, and it's not because it's bad, it's just I can't. The always online thing, coupled with just being so busy. But yeah, I like Titanfall. I liked Battlefield 2 a lot way back when. I played that a ton online with friends. And the original Halo, played that adversarially and really enjoyed it. But I suppose those games it's semi-co-op because you have a team at your back. So I guess my favourite type of competitive game is a game where co-op is mixed in the sense that you have a team, rather than free-for-alls. Don't know if that's the answer you were looking for, but that's the answer you're getting. And now I will go back to TweetDeck and see what questions I did get asked. Right, where are we? Josh Matthews, he is a YouTuber, gaming faster than light. How do you pick what games you make videos of? Well, as far as mainstream games like AAA games, I have to like them. For Let's Look At, I have to be into what I'm covering, or I have to think that a portion of my audience would be. And the bigger you get, the more people you get contacting you. So unfortunately, you do have to start getting very picky and choosy. Like the other day there, I hadn't had any emails all day, and I was like, "Whoa, yes, I can take my time and go through the little build-up I've had." And then I went away from the PC for an hour or so, came back, and I had 6 new emails in just like the space of an hour, and I was So how do I pick? If it's something I'll enjoy. Case in point, actually, perfect. I was answering some emails before recording this. I had a new PR company approach me saying, "We've got this game. It's called, hang on, I'll get the name. It's Farming something. Farming World. It's just got on Steam. They offered me a Steam key, just gave me it, and said, if you want to do any coverage, you can monetize it, etc. I took a look, and I didn't like it. I just didn't like the look of it. It's not my kind of game, so I replied saying, "Thanks very much. Not my type of thing. Sorry, I won't be covering it." Fair enough. If it was, say, something else, I got contacted about covering Bound by Flame, which I can't go into details about because there is a embargo, but this Friday you will be seeing a video of it. It will just be kind of first impressions. I haven't played it enough to be a review. It's a very long game. But it's like it plays a bit like The Witcher. I like Witcher 2 a lot, so as soon as I saw that, I was like, yes, I will do that. So it's personal taste. An interesting thing I see getting argued about on R Gaming on Reddit is whether you pander to your viewers. I would say if you do, you might gain in the short term, but you'll lose in the long term, because that's what I did in 2010. I pandered to, I covered some anime games, and they were super, super popular. Like, I've got an anime video with almost 4 million views. So I thought, right, well, people love anime games. I bet I'll just keep on doing those, and I did. And then people expected only that from me, and I was like, well, no, I like lots of gaming. I like gaming in general. I'm going to cover lots of games, so I hope you'll still watch this. Nope. So I would avoid focusing yourself. By all means, don't play something you hate just because your audience likes it. If you start a playthrough of something and you just end up hating the game, but your audience is loving it, that's a really tricky situation to get yourself stuck in. If I was in that situation, I would apologise profusely? What is that word that I'm trying to think of? I would apologise to my audience, but I wouldn't do it. So I'm not sure if that answers your question really, but it's hard. It's on a case-by-case basis, I guess, is the safe, boring answer. If I get approached about a lot of indie games in particular, if it looks like I might enjoy it a little bit, or if my audience might enjoy it a little bit, I have no problem with, even if it's not particularly to my style, doing a 30 minutes. Here's a new game, you guys might like it. If you do like it, there's a URL for you to go check it out if you want. That series is one where it doesn't particularly matter if I don't like the game as much as my viewers, which is one of the plus points of doing a first impression series. You don't have to commit to a game if you end up not liking it. But as for like AAA games, if I like the look of something, generally I will approach the publisher, and they'll either ignore me, it happens, or they'll get back in touch and we'll have a back and forth. Like Ubisoft were just sending out kind of mailing lists and information to YouTubers like last week, putting in a list for whether you are getting a review copy of Watch Dogs when it comes out. So I don't have high hopes for Watch Dogs, I must admit, but I'm curious enough about it after it's been delayed so long that I said, yeah, put me on the list. I don't know if I'll get one. I imagine that a channel of my size is very low on the priority list. That's usually how it works with publishers as well. They tier people, like this person has so many subs, and down and down and down. Evolve PR do that as well, and I'm not saying anything bad about them, they're very good. It's just certain people who they represent want YouTubers of a certain stature to cover their game. That went off on a bit of a random tangent, so let's hurry up and move on, because now I'm taking too long. Magic Mumbo asked about the state of Nintendo. You're doing that on purpose to bait out some anger because you knew I was angry at them this morning because you replied to me. This morning I woke up and I was just browsing for general gaming news, and I saw that, Mario Kart 8 has the ability to upload straight to YouTube. That's interesting. Does that mean that Nintendo are being kind to YouTubers now? No. Nope, every video that gets uploaded of Mario Kart 8 via the game itself is automatically claimed by Nintendo because they are stupid pricks. And I imagine any game you upload yourself will also eventually, if not instantly, also be claimed by Nintendo because they are stupid dicks. Wait, did I call them pricks before? They're both. Nintendo infuriates me. They have absolutely no concept of how the internet works these days. If you're a Twitch user, then I highly suggest getting Mario Kart, streaming it. You know, especially if you have subscribers on Twitch or whatever it's called. Is it subs? I think it is. You know, you can sub to a Twitch channel to get emotes and stuff. Yeah, they're going to benefit from Mario Kart 8 coverage because YouTubers aren't going to bloody do it. Not the ones that try and do it professionally anyway. So it's a shame. Nintendo, as per usual, don't understand how the world works. Hopefully they won't discover the Twitch crowd or they'll be in trouble too. But it also means that I won't be buying Mario Kart 8 at launch. No chance in hell. I will be looking to get it as cheaply as possible and second hand so that Nintendo don't get a penny. If I wasn't still enjoying Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate as much as I am, I would have sold my Wii U a long time ago. It is a failure of a console. Never ever buy it. Definitely do not buy it for one game. Even if you really like what you've seen on my channel of Monster Hunter 3 for example, wait until next year, get Monster Hunter 4 on the 3DS. The 3DS is an okay bit of kit, it's a good handheld. I can't fault them there. They do handhelds well, even if they have piss poor 3D built in. But yeah, the Wii U, waste of time, waste of money. Don't ever buy one. Even if you like Mario Kart. Although saying that, if you get the Wii U plus Mario Kart 8 plus a load of boring crap you don't need combo deal that they're bringing out, you get a free code to get a Nintendo game, a digital download of it. Like the latest Mario game is one of them, the latest Mario Party game, and you can also get Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. So, I mean, if you were desperate to play it and you're going to get Mario Kart 8 anyway and you don't have a Wii U, then yeah, okay. Get the deal where you get a game on top of it for free. In fact, I think someone tweeted earlier that there was a deal to get that very thing for £199. That is amazing. You could get that deal, keep the download code and sell the console on for like triple that. I mean, that's a bit underhanded, so I'm not going to do it, but I'm just saying you could. So moving on, because I'm getting infuriated. Paul Olsen asked, here's a question for your Let's Chat. What first got you into writing, and if you studied it, where did you study at? I technically did study writing a little bit, other than doing obviously English standard grade, which wow, I don't know what made her do that. Maya, I'm busy. As I was saying, other than normally doing English standard grade, which every student in Scotland does, in uni, I went to uni to do computing science, but, for goodness sake, Maya. But on the side, I also took a course in Scottish literature and critical writing. So I have been trained a little bit. I wouldn't say a lot. I didn't stick with that because I found the stuff we were covering not to be my taste. But I am trained a little bit. I didn't get a qualification for that side of things. I do have a qualification in computing support and science, but not that side of it. Other than that, I've just really liked writing. I think I mentioned last time that when I was a kid I wrote like fiction, just tons of it, because I just enjoyed it so much, and then as I grew up I wanted to get into the journalistic side of gaming. So I started applying. Well, actually I only applied once. I applied to Critical Gamer and I got in. I don't know what is pissing her off so much. I mean, there's a lot of people outside at this time of the day because I live across from a public building, but usually she doesn't sound so angry. Maybe she is as vicious as someone suggested. I'll close my door a little bit because I don't want to have to pause and go down and tell her to be quiet. Still, I lost my train of thought there about writing. What first got you into writing? Well, I think I covered that, and studying, yes I did. If the YouTube thing ever fell through and I had to go get a real job, as so many people would say to me, I would probably still try on the side to find some kind of journalistic job, get back into the writing side. I mean, I do still get asked now and then to do writing for Critical Gamer, it's just right now I don't have time. Too much recording, too much pressure of answering emails and getting in touch with devs and publishers, etc. I just don't have time. It's annoying. I do like the writing side. There's some things I prefer about the writing side. I think I covered that before as well, but I feel like I can articulate myself easier when I'm writing something because it goes through a series of drafting and editing, etc. Whereas, you know, when you're just speaking, even if you're speaking from a script, I mean, if you speak from a script, yeah, you'll probably articulate yourself okay, but you'll sound like you're reading from a script. And when I do voice work for commentating, etc., I don't like that. So, I don't know. Moving on. We've got 2 more questions and then I'll wrap up. Magic Mumbo say, oh right, yeah, I heard my old editor saying that there's a new rumour going around that Nintendo's going to announce a new... Oh, Magic Mumbo needs to get his predictive text sorted because I'm having to translate what he's saying. and their new console they ate announcing at E3. Yeah, so I think this is the rumour that Nintendo are going to have a new console at E3. That is very, very unlikely. They're still trying to pull like the Wii U out of the mire at this point. A new handheld, maybe some kind of new variety of 3DS. Yeah, fine. Or maybe I was going to say a slimmer Wii U, but it's already tiny, so I don't really see that as being a thing that would happen. No, the Wii U, they've got too much banking on it. It's still a failure financially. They need to pull it out. They need to, you know, churn out more Mario games. That'll do it. No, definitely not. Also, they're not putting on a big show at E3 again, which is no great loss because their E3 conferences were always hilariously poorly managed. Then they usually just showed off how bad the connectivity of the Wii U remote is to the console, which was always good fun watching, what's his name, Miyamoto, try and play Zelda on stage. It's very fun. If you've never seen that, go look at previous E3s when they did do conferences. It's always a laugh. Right, final question. What's your favourite game right now? Oh, this is from David, otherwise known as Corsai55. What's your favourite game right now? Or what is your most anticipated thing about Monster Hunter 4? I can answer both those to kind of wrap up here. Favourite game right now is unquestionably... Oh my god, I just looked at how long I've been recording for. Favourite game right now is most definitely Dark Souls 2. I mean, definitely not Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 2, still very heavily addicted to it, still very much enjoying playing it on PC. I prefer the PC version to the console version, but if you don't have access to that, there's nothing wrong with the console version. Well, unless you play on a really, really big TV, in which case you'll just see the horrible pixelated mess, but yeah, Dark Souls 2 definitely right now. Later tonight, you will see the first part of a new playthrough. I'm recording a playthrough of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The first part's going up, so if you want to support that series, by all means, you know, click the like button on it, etc. to let me know that you want to see more. Also, it depends on whether Activision plays nice and doesn't try and claim on it. They didn't on the playthrough of the first Amazing Spider-Man game, which was also one of the very first games I ever did solo commentary for. So it kind of has a nostalgic place in my heart. Plus, I just like Spider-Man games, even though they're pretty terrible. So yeah, I'm going to do that. It's not going to be a long playthrough. They're very short games. I imagine it'll be 5 to 7 hours tops for an average person. If I speed through it, it won't take long at all. Oh, also, by the time you hear this, you'll probably already give me feedback, but if you are a patron listening to this, be sure to check the Patreon site, because on Saturday probably, I posted asking about feedback on whether you want still to just have a random exclusive video every Saturday, or if you want me to start up a actual series and play it through. The suggestion at the time being Prison Architect, because I'm playing quite a lot of that off camera at the moment, where the first part of the playthrough would be public to everybody to try and drum up a bit of more interest, because more and more people are using ad blocks, so I have to rely on Patreon more and more, so I'm looking for ways to entice more people to become a patron. And if you are curious, you can get exclusive access to the Saturday videos, as well as a bunch of rewards depending on what tier you're at, but the minimum tier is $1, so that's like 60p per month. And you might think, well, that's a tiny amount, so why bother? Well, the reason you bother is 1, to show your support, and 2, if lots of people do it, it adds up. So the other question you asked was, what was the most anticipated thing about Monster Hunter 4? Well, assuming I can do a playthrough of it, doing that would definitely be my most anticipated thing, but the game itself, I'm looking forward to giving the new weapon types being added a go, as well as the better combat. The world is more layered, so you can do like flying leaps, you can do flips and stuff onto monsters, you can ride the monsters and stab the crap out of them. It looks really, really good for a handheld game, and keep that in mind, it's just on 3DS. So I think they've put a decent amount of work into it. Plus all the extra stuff that they're adding into the Ultimate version that the Japanese didn't originally get. All the monsters that people were missing and whatnot. So yeah, I'm looking forward to all of it in general. But specifically the new weapon types, and potentially some of the new monsters as well, like the brand new monsters to that generation. I don't know, is that how they refer to it? Anyway, I've been speaking non-stop for almost 30 minutes here. These chat videos don't usually go on that long, so but still, thank you very much to everybody who asked questions, be it via Twitter or via previous Let's Chats. If you leave a comment in this video, I'll answer it next week, or via Twitter when I ask at the time. I'll still keep doing that as well. I'm going to go now and see what my dog was barking at. Maya says hello, as I'm sure you heard, and thanks again. Ta-ta for now.